Kris and Rose, welcome to the Vendor Confessional.
Thank you for having us, Ivy. We're so glad to have you out here.
I love it out here. It's such a beautiful morning that I'm like, I could just sit out here forever.
I enjoy living here very much. Yeah.
I can see why. So getting straight into it, tell me about a vendor you'll never work with again and why, but don't name names.
Okay. Oh, of course.
Okay.
Who wants to start, Rose?
Right. We've got a long
We
day.
had a collaboration that we had scheduled. And to us, a collaboration means you're bringing in multiple vendors. Everybody's donating their time, their efforts. There might be a little bit of cash exchange for materials used and that sort of thing. But really, it's an idea for everybody to get content and a team effort, multiple people. We did kind of a collaboration with somebody that we had seen a little bit of their work and we thought that was appropriate for us. It aligned with what we wanted. But day of, it was not even close. And plus, they never brought in anybody extra. And so we attempted to bring in other vendors and it was very difficult. So we've learned that if the communication up front isn't working, we cancel it. But we pushed through because we wanted the content, which we thought would be valuable. But it ended up being a 13-hour day. It was awful. It was so awful.
It's a long day.
Yeah. And it did not align with our marketing or what we wanted for Garman Hill at all. So it was a waste.
And 13 hours for a shoot is long for anybody.
Yes. That I will never offer that again.
Yeah.
So there's lots of learning lessons from that, but definitely just understanding like where people are at design wise. And when we're doing these, shoots, it's for like, you got to think in your mind, it's for a print or magazine or social media. It doesn't mean that somebody else could come along and have a wedding of that caliber here. I don't mind that. That's whatever. But if I'm building my marketing portfolio, that is not what I'm marketing for.
Yeah.
That's not my customer that I'm going after.
Yeah.
So, but they were very professional. They were very nice. But yeah, I learned a lot from that.
That is pretty hard.
Rose had to talk me off the ledge. So did my daughter Lauren a couple of times. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think just the gravity of the investment of going into something like that and really kind of working together as a team, we're giving to receive and vice versa, with it being a collaborative effort. So when it feels one-sided or it's just with the intention of like what they're wanting for their vision, for their reasonings, it's hard to.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I felt like I got used because I would have charged.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I would have charged if you want my property for that long and it's all about you, then now this is no longer a collaboration. Now you're just using me.
Yeah.
And that's where I had to be talked off the ledge because I a couple of times was ready to just say it's done and leave, you know what I mean? But it was like kind of one of those moments where you're like, okay, let's just finish it out, see if we can get anything from it and move on.
We tried to see how it would end and there's no usable material. So it really was
That's super hard
situation.
And a
you
huge
have to pay,
investment.
Yeah, you have to
it really
pay
was because she was here. She's an employee paid. I had her here for 13 hours. Lauren, who's my oldest daughter that does our marketing, was here. Obviously, I was here.
Yep.
It was. Yeah. And I felt bad for the vendors that you brought in because I don't know that they have any usable. That's their choice. So I do feel like I felt like we kind of we even represented ourselves wrong with those vendors that we brought in because we didn't partner with the right other people.
Yeah. So we had cleanup that we had to do on our end as a venue
and we had to clean up,
nurture those relationships.
And they got into my refrigerator. I bought them food, water, and they still hit my refrigerator.
Are you kidding me?
No.
And they burned candles, which went onto my brand new restoration hardware table. So there was like
wax.
Yeah, leaving wax. So it's like there are multiple things that I like. The day of, I was like,
change this.
Yeah, Lord. Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna get all amped up now. I'm like, Lord was like, calm down. I'm like, anyway.
That is insane.
So there's our confession.
Yeah, what a juicy way to start. Well, for those of the listeners that don't know who you guys are, do you want to tell me a little bit about Garman Hill?
Yes. So I'm the owner of Garman Hill. It's my private residence of 16 acres. It's the very first homestead of Canyon County. And it was my late husband's family's homestead. They got it in like the late 1800s and moved here in 1904. So It's been here for a long time.
Mhm.
And then Rose is our general manager,
Yay.
and turning out to just be like the best thing. She was referred to me by a friend, and I didn't interview anybody else. I just met her and I was like, you're hired. Like, you have the energy, the positivity, the personality, the go get 'em. Like, I'm like, you're basically starting your own business. Think of it that way, except I'm paying for it. Like you have to go build it. Like, first thing you have to do is figure
Right.
out payroll.
We're building.
Mm.
Yes.
Like, we
Yes.
legit started from
Yes.
ground
First
zero.
day.
And we had 2 weeks before a wedding
Find a
expo.
system yourself.
Yep.
Here's a
Find a
notebook.
Yep. There you go. So like it was
Yeah.
off and running from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Well,
So true.
it looks like you guys are doing really well. I love the way that your branding is, and everything just looks great.
thank you. We're
Yeah.
actually in the middle of rewriting the website right now. So because
Mhm.
when we built the website originally, our house was still under construction. The landscaping wasn't done, so we were kind of in the middle of things. And obviously we are a very Black property with my Black house.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're kind of changing that a little bit on the website's going to be rewritten. It's
Mhm.
it's under construction, I guess is the word.
It's exciting.
It
So it's going to be a lot darker toned.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to be. Black is not going to be the dominant.
Oh, okay.
It will not be dominant, but it's just right now it's not represented at all.
Mm.
With the florals that we have on the website now. I'm going to turn just in case that's too windy.
Yeah.
But what's been really great, and you can speak as well, is that we have a gentleman, Chad, that is helping us with the rebranding the websites, like
Mhm.
just all of our marketing. And he walked us through like from the very beginning, like,
Mm.
okay, let's say you started, let's talk about what's your mission statement, what are your core values, what are blah blah blah. He's walked us through all of that. And to have like Rose involved, myself, Lauren, and Chad, like the four of us did.
Mhm.
I'm really excited to see what comes out of that.
Yeah.
Because
is
it was
exciting.
such a fun process. These things have changed. Like when I first started, Greg was still alive. The idea was just to rent my yard out. And, through time that kind of morphed. It was like, well, we could do this, or I want to do this, or we really need to do this, so things
Right.
added on to that. But
And it still is morphing.
Yeah.
So we're even having to change how we get together, how we communicate, like
Yep.
pausing during the week, having that one-on-one time to just kind of go over what's going on, what's
Mm.
happening at the venue. There's so many different pivots and turns that we're
Yeah.
making and just refocusing, which has turned out to be so beneficial to just stay focused.
Tell me a little bit about Garman Hill. Like, I know you said it's a blank canvas venue.
Yeah, so we have 16 acres of property. We do have some usable indoor venue space. We have groom's quarters for our guests, which is a little under 1,000 square feet.
mm-hmm.
We also have on-site accommodations. So we have a guest suite, bridal suite, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. We've got a cute little kitchenette space area in there. And that's really a daylight basement that opens up to our underground pool. It's a heated pool. And our views, we're facing west. So we have a full panoramic view of the Owyhees.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
I see it behind you, and I'm like, that is just stunning.
Yeah. For our brides and grooms, we have 2 most popular ceremonial sites, and you really can use any side of the property for a site, but 2 that are most popular include those incredible views. It's very open air, really stunning.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you came out, because you normally are like inside somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was fun that you came and visited just to kind of check us out. And then you're like, oh, we're doing the podcast here.
Yeah.
Outside.
And I think that's the hardest marketing spin for us,
Mhm.
because if you look at other wedding venues in the Valley, it's a barn, it's so you're looking at a physicality with walls and windows and a ceiling. And here it is vast open space with a awe-inspiring view. And it's hard to communicate that off my iPhone.
Yeah, I was gonna
You know
say.
what I'm saying? But so part of the rebuilding is getting the property photos, and
Mhm.
but once people are here, then it's like, oh, okay, now I get it.
get
Like,
it.
you're all about the
Yes.
view. And then the second thing that we all are about is just the versatility. That's a big behind the scenes thing that, sometimes we are learning. We're building a book with some layout options and kind of help people visualize, because again, there's no walls, there's no ceilings, you literally like can like if somebody's a designer, they would love it here because they're going to come here and they're going to say, oh, I want the arch here and I want the seating here. And, you can do any type of wedding trends that you want to do. This is an
Right.
Instagrammable venue.
Yeah.
Right. But with that, you have to be that visionary. You have to be someone who has that design mindset. When you don't, it's overwhelming. There's so many options. It's like choose your flavor, choose your color, choose your style. So really helping our guests and clientele narrow down what they're wanting and encapsulating our venue to where they can see little tidbits of the emotion that's evoked when you're out here and then getting them on site.
Yeah.
Because even us
FaceTiming.
together and FaceTiming and then you coming out here, you were like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And on the phone, you were like, wait, what?
On the
It's just a
phone, it was
different-
beautiful, but out here, it's like just another level. It's stunning.
Mhm.
It's
It
so
levels up.
pretty. And it's so unique. Like, there's literally nothing like it in the Valley.
Nothing.
Nothing. You're doing good. What would you say is the most rewarding part of your job when it comes to a big wedding day?
I love seeing the emotion from the guests and the pictures that are captured. Sid made mention to the Instagrammable moments, and they really are 1 in a million out here. With the clouds, our sunsets, our golden hour, you just can't recapture the natural beauty that's out here. So on those moments, when they're getting in their getaway car or they're leaving after the wedding or they're just the sweet moments.
What's your least favorite part of a wedding day?
Preparing. It's getting all the vendors set up on time, being on schedule. That's why wedding planners and wedding designers and, those folks are worth every dime you pay them.
Yes. So beneficial.
But I did have one instance where the vendor did not come out and visit. From that experience, I now require, we are open vendors. Let me just say, we have an open vendor policy on purpose. We do not want to be locked to a preferred list. We will provide a preferred list, but we allow new vendors to come in. But there are some requirements with that, which is you have to come and see the venue at least 2 weeks prior to the event.
Yes.
In this case, it was a dance floor, and it was so cool when they finally got it put together. It was an LED dance floor, and she kept asking the wedding planner, is it flat? Is it flat? And we're like, it's a yard, like it's grass. I can take a picture, but if you're looking for flat, no, it's a yard. And so, and I kept telling her and the wedding planner, like, come out and actually see the site, if it's, because she kept asking. So they didn't come visit. They got here and it took them, I think, 2 hours to install it, something like that. It was literally, they were still installing it as she was walking down the aisle. So it ruined the entire cocktail hour because she was blocking. She had her truck still. Anyway, and I was not the planner.
Yeah.
And finally, and of course, the planner's busy getting the gal down the aisle. Like at some point, she has to move on in her day. And so I finally came over and just, but they were asking like for saws and because they were trying to make it level. Because if you think about LED, the pins have to touch. So I understood what was happening, but it was like, again, preparation. And so I finally just walked over and I said, if your truck is unloaded, you need to go park it somewhere else. You're in the middle of my venue because they were parked right here. And blocking the bar. This was all set up as a beautiful bar. I mean, it's actually the picture, I think, is still on our website. It's a beautiful bar, a huge floral entrance to it. It was so cool. And they never got to use it for cocktail hour. And it's like, man, that I was getting upset. And it's not even my wedding and I wasn't even the planner. But so finally I said, you got to move your truck. And then they were able to pull it off and they got it figured out. But and poor her, like I feel bad for her too. But because she's asking for help and asking for these things, but it's like, I'm not prepared to give you a saw and wood pieces. Like I have no clue about any of that. So anyway.
Yeah. So
that's probably the worst time for me is getting it going. Because once you got it, then it starts clicking and everything's happy. And if funny things happen during the wedding, then it's just funny. Like everybody should have a moment in their wedding that's, like, oh man, the candle didn't light or something will go wrong. But that sort of stuff, you don't want to not go, you need to like be up and ready and rock and roll.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because like you're spending like a lot of money for that to be done.
Yes.
And for it to not be done and not even get to use. And then it like interrupts other things like
it's the flow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the bar service. It's
Yeah.
your guest experience, because
Mhm.
now they're here for an hour.
Mhm.
You know, like it's just, it was just, and honestly, I don't even know that they know that happened. I mean, they could watch this video and be like, oh, I had no idea. Like, I didn't know
Oh,
that they knew,
that's
but
good.
we all knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really important when like that the couples don't know
Yeah.
if something's going
Right.
on.
That's again why you have a wedding planner.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I should just promote wedding planners.
You should.
Which I do. Yeah, I have at least 2 of
Me
my
too.
favorites. The people that I have worked with personally are on my preferred list.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to
So-
see your preferred list.
I'll,
What's the most fulfilling part about being a vendor in the industry? Venue
oh,
vendor.
Oh, a venue.
you.
I love connecting. I love the connection with people. I love the variety of stories
Mm.
and love stories, personal stories. You know, as you're getting to connect with people in this industry, they almost kind of become like family when you're having those conversations and you're talking about like this is one of your most important moments of life that you're planning, and it's really intimate. You know, so they're opening up their lives to a portion of intimacy and allowing us to be a part of it as well. And with that, there's a lot of conversation. You know, how did you guys meet? What do you do for work? You know, what's going on? Like, what brought you to this point? What has you in Idaho, or what has you as wanting to get married in Idaho as a destinational place?
Mm-hmm.
And those are really some of the sweetest moments that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Just connecting
Yeah.
with people.
I agree.
It's real life.
I think and actually this talking about this is that is part of our core values. Like we put
Mhm.
in their authentic connection with people and transparency. Like
Yeah.
we want to make sure that all of our relationships with the vendors, with the bride and their family, like all of that is just clear, concise, authentic. We want to be there to support their big day. We
Mhm.
want to be there to support the vendors,
Right.
you know, and help them make it a really good event.
Yes.
So yeah, I love, for me personally, it's connecting with people.
Yeah.
I work from home. I worked from home forever, like 15 years. I don't even know how many years now. So I really look forward to actually like having people and sharing the property and showing them like,
Yeah.
let's take your event, your wedding, reception, dinner, whatever it's going to be,
Right.
and build it into the history of this hill. Because, you know, this is an old property and it has a really good, rich history of love. I mean, Nadine and Houston were 97 years old when we bought the property and they still lived here.
That's crazy.
And he was a World War II vet, and they both went to Wilder High School and were sweethearts. And then they, you know, moved here in 1968, 67, I think is when they built it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a long time to live somewhere and love each other.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and especially with like the divorce rate being so high, like you just, I don't know if it just like younger generations, like younger than them, that they just don't know how to stick it out or communicate. But it is unfortunately really rare to find somebody that will stick it out with you, whether it's just stubbornness or
what I was talking to, so Lauren's, the oldest daughter's friends, recently married. And we were just like, this was not a deep conversation. We were just casually talking, and I happened to be, you know, hanging out with them because I like to hang out with the young kids. And I just mentioned, I'm like, I learned very early on that you have to gauge how important something is. So I would like
Yes.
1 through 10, how important. If it's a 5, I let it go, because guess what? You irritate him too. There are little things that you do every day. So pick only the 9s and 10s. Work on the 8s. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
there's there's got to be like a schedule here. But I was always like, and I named some things, and one of them was like, oh my gosh, I do that. Like, you're so right. Like it really caught her attention.
yeah.
Like, yeah, like you have to remember it's not just about you. You know what I mean? Like we're both growing together.
Yes.
And you know, honestly, like I was married for almost 30 years. And there are years that you have to feel like you are stuck. 7-year itch, teen hump, like whatever you want to talk about. When your kids are graduating and you're now like, our lives aren't all about our children anymore. We have to go back to dating.
Happening?
That's all legit facts, you know? And you know what? Being loyal and feeling like you're stuck with somebody is good, because you know what? You're going to persevere. You are going to, again, collaborate. You're going to cooperate. You know, these are all good characteristics, you know? So
Agreed.
not saying that there are definitely divorces that need to happen, but I
Yeah.
think in the long run, it's good to feel like that. And I think
Yeah.
in Nadine and Houston's day, they had that. Like, you just
Yeah.
did not get divorced. And I'll tell you, in the end, all he did was talk about how great his Nadine was. And she, I mean, again, very traditional, but I think, and like, you know, as Greg progressed in his illness, it was really interesting to watch, like, how much kinder he was. And I think that's what we see as we age, because we become vulnerable. So when we're 30s and 40s and 50s, we're pretty healthy usually. We're feeling pretty good. But you know, you get older and more vulnerable, you appreciate your partner a lot more.
Yeah.
You know, because now you really do need somebody, and you see how much they do for you. So anyway, that was a little bit of a
No, I love it.
side
I love it.
talk,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. No, and I think it's I really want to re-highlight what you said about like it's not just about you. Like they're like this is a person too. You annoy them just as much. The first thing that came to my mind when you said that is the other night my husband was talking about how he got Dutch Bros every day, and I'm like, get Dutch Bros every day, and he's just like, yeah, you do, and I'm like, no, and he's like, when's the last time you did? And I was like, well, you get like those liquid deaths every day, so, and then he was like, oh, you know what, you're right, and I was like, see, like
yes.
Yeah.
and it was, and he got off my back about Dutch Bros, but I did realize that I also get Dutch Bros every day. So like we were both valid, but it's important to validate each other.
Right,
Yeah.
Because
and that's probably, I'm hoping, was a fun banter.
yes, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, so that's
Yeah.
a fun banter, and you're like, hey, well, oh, okay, yeah, okay, we're all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
And that's the other thing, like have fun. Like not everything has to be yelling, screaming. Like you can bring stuff up and it not like you don't have to have your feelings hurt about it. Like nobody's perfect. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
we can just talk about it, and it's honestly easier if it's more of a lighthearted conversation because
Way.
you're more open to listening to the other person instead of just trying to be right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And that's what we want to reflect as a venue is just that lightheartedness as well. It does not get old seeing people on property when their eyes open and their jaw drops and they're like, wait, what? You have what? And then they walk around the corner and they see another spectacular view. It's amazing to watch that unfold and see it.
Yeah.
And really as a venue seeing those moments, kind of going back to connecting with our brides and grooms and really any guest, because we are so versatile out here. We offer so many different amenities and opportunities as a venue. We want to see it through from the beginning to the end, you know, and if that means we're not what's best, okay, that works. Like it's open arms, you know, when we meet you, and it's open arms, you know, to the end. And if that means, you know, maybe not as a venue, but we want to be a great photography site for you, awesome. Or we want to be a staycation, you know, or a honeymoon, you know, great. Like let's do it. Let's make it work. Whatever is really best for our guests. That's what we want to see.
Yeah. I think that's really important because life's too short to be so serious.
Sure. Yep.
That's my personal opinion. Tell me about a couple that you still think about to this day.
Well, Maddie and Noah, and because, you know, like we still get to see them. They come on Wilder Wednesdays and see their baby Lucy.
Yeah.
Oh,
And she's so adorable. And so, and their family is just very friendly, open, down to earth people. So just a great group of, like, all of them are great. I just can't say enough. Yeah.
that's awesome.
But you know, they're and they had two things that I loved. Their pictures are on our website. Two things I loved about their wedding. Wrapping back to what our favorite moments are of the wedding, is they had such a fun kissing moment.
Oh, really?
And it's a beautiful photo because it's out on our point, and he's dipping her, and you've got the lanes of, you know, all the chairs and people in their chairs or whatever, and then you've just got this massive open view, and it's just one of my favorite photos. And then when they were leaving, they did bubbles, and there's a photo of them, and they're just the look on their faces. They are so happy leaving. Anyway, they're just fun. They're really good people.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
What is one thing your clients would say about working with you?
They love us. We're pretty fabulous.
Yeah.
One thing people would say, really, that it's a great experience. We're easy to connect with. We're very open. You know, our pricing, connect with us. We're very transparent in what we offer as a venue. There's no like hidden fees. You know, if there is a fee attached to it, whether it be a deposit fee or a cleaning fee, all of that is very forward, and just really the ease of connection and being here,
Yeah.
being available. The
We-
questions,
Yep.
being honest. and really taking care in it. That's one thing I can say from a personal standpoint as well. Like Kris sees it through. It's 110 the end, like go big or go home. And so that's really what the venue reflects here is her ownership of the property, what she's steward and continuing to steward through the venue and the land. And that's how the business is ran at
Yeah.
Garman Hill. And so we're stewarding something with care, with consideration, with love, with grit. Like we will be behind the scenes if we need to or help. If something goes awry, but we're also here to just, shed a tear and see those sweet moments that are happening on your wedding day behind the scenes. And so I think just the connection side of it and the ease.
Yeah, and I think again they're going to also know just again the versatility, the flexibility.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think you'll ask a question probably about what we do or don't allow, but we've had some interesting questions, and I think I've said yes to almost all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
We've had a lot.
Horses,
Dancing horses.
I had like some.
Wait, dancing horses?
Yes. Yes. And
So
which
fun.
I was like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
I want that, and then, which they didn't, they ended up, a family member
Using a
had
family
had
property.
land that they ended up using, but I said yes to like some Nordic, I don't know. I don't even know what it was called. I
Yeah,
can't
it
remember,
was-
but it was like, anyway.
That was from the expo.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I remember.
So
that.
anyway,
Fun.
like it's just been really interesting. We allow
Yeah.
dogs. So if they want to have a dog in the ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just been kind of, I think that's like, hopefully hopefully that's what the answer that they would give us. So.
Yeah. Well, since we're here, is there anything you don't allow?
Yeah, I mean the typical sparklers, anything with fire.
It's going to damage the property.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like I love like I said, the bubbles were so cute. What fabulous photos those were. Trying to think of what else people use. Probably things like not confetti, things that are going to litter the yard, because again, there's no
Right.
sweeping here. Like we
Right.
just mow the grass the next day. So yeah, it has to be just something that's not going to injure or start growing. So birdseed would be fine if it was like the Zamzos, no grow.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any funny or unexpected moments you've had happen at Garmin?
We do. We had our first open house here, like a soft open house this year after our bridal expo. So March, I believe, the beginning of March. And super new to this position and process and kind of what we were doing out here. But we were in it to go big, and we wanted the decorations. We wanted
And remember, it's March.
catering. Right. So we were
So
like trying.
it's cold. The pool's not open
navigate
yet,
the
but we're
weather.
like, we have to open the pool.
Right. Right.
And
And
so
something we were saying is like, okay, she's in her winter body season. Her grass is not green. Her leaves are not growing, right? Like our florals are dormant. How do we make her look beautiful? And so we're sitting and we're talking and we're like, balloons. Like, we got this. We could do balloon arches. Like, let's do it. And so the girls, Lauren and Brooke, and I think even Milo, like had a night of just blowing up and a ton of balloons, like over 100.
Oh no.
Right. And we're doing black and gold and white. And so we get on site day of for open house, and we're just trying to put together all these arches, and we're running out of time because there's so many balloons, and there's only so much time that we have to build these arches for our boards.
Yeah, where do you put the balloons?
Welcoming and right.
So we're like,
So,
I'm like, put them on the pool, because the pool's again not open, so it's not clean. Like
it
there's a whole
looks
process.
dirty. There's
So
still
we're like,
stuff
let's
on the
just throw
ground.
stuff in there and it'll look
Let's
really
just
cute.
open it, uncover it.
Oh
We'll
no,
put balloons in.
because think about the breeze
The
here.
wind.
And so the breeze, just the very light breeze, just picked them up and put them all over the hillside. So we were like running around popping balloons like
all over the hillside.
the whole day. So that was like, okay, lesson learned.
Yeah.
We got to think about, but we
have to
came
use
up with the
weighted
idea.
balloons.
We're going to weight them next time. We're going to
Okay.
tie them and put like a fishing weight or something.
Yeah.
Good, because that was part of the idea.
I saw that in your picture.
It's gonna be weighted.
Oh, it will be weighted. Because otherwise they all move
got
to
it
one
now.
side, or they're not where you want them to be.
Yeah.
No, so we figured it out. We've got that part down now.
do.
You
But at
started
first
telling
it
the
was
story,
like, oh
and I'm
my
like,
gosh.
no, I wanted the balloon.
Yeah, there's a way to do it,
Yes.
but it has to be weighted.
And not at the last
Otherwise,
second.
Yes.
We're covering the hill with
we thought that
balloons.
was going to be a good solution to a problem, and it just created a whole nother problem.
It really did.
But anyway,
Yeah,
That's how it goes
like
sometimes.
little sprints.
Yeah. So you said she was in her winter body. If Garmin was a person, how would you describe her?
Ooh, okay, Rose.
Yes. Okay, Garmin is a person. She is sexy, she's chic, she's old, she's classic, timeless. And when I say old, she's seasoned with being old, right? So she's seen all the seasons. She's been here for decades.
It's like a fine wine.
And yes,
Yeah.
she just gets better as she ages.
I almost feel like it's good luck too with the couple.
in Houston.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
here for so long with all that love.
Yeah.
Yeah, goals.
Yeah, right. That's a perfect description, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we want that. We want that timeless love captured out here. Whether, you're coming out here with girlfriends to enjoy, a moment, or it is a wedding, or, a bachelor party, or a baby shower, corporate. Like, there's so many different options for us as a venue, but we want it to encapsulate timeless love.
Yeah.
And how, if it's friendship, if it's
Yeah.
the lover love, like if it's fierce, whatever that looks like in anyone's lifestyle, that's what we want to help host out here at our venue.
I think that's so beautiful. I'm gonna
Yeah.
cry.
Same.
How do you personalize Garmin to match the unique vibe or theme of each couple's wedding?
That will be up to
That's up to
them, like what kind of style
Yeah.
they want. So I talked about Maddie and Noah earlier. They did not want the rustic of our shop. And so when we built out the bar, when they built out the bar, they hung toile along this whole backside. So because again, it's just stapling and that was easy to remove. So it wasn't like
Right.
damaging the building at all, but it created a beautiful backdrop. And then they had it was their theme for the bar was drunken love. So they had like a neon light and a disco ball, and it was really cute.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things, like it really can be, talking about like her as a person, like I see her a little bit like myself, where I can clean up and I can look pretty and have my nails done and everything, but I can also put on my work gloves and my ball cap and I'm out there spraying weeds, or I'm in my flip flops hanging out in my lounge chair. So I can go cash, I can go fancy, I'm versatile, right? And so that's exactly how we see her. So it doesn't
Yes.
have to be you don't have to have black in your wedding. It just happens to be the color of my home. You don't have to have like a certain style. You can either dress her up or
Yes.
keep her cash. So she'll go both directions. It just depends on how you bring it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And-
their wedding was a higher designed wedding than just like a casual,
Yeah. Well, I think that's the beauty of the blank canvas because, again, like I said before, nothing like it.
Absolutely. And with the land and the views, what you see is what you get, right? And that really is what sets Garman Hill apart and makes her so unique and so beautiful. Is this isn't anywhere else in the valley, and it's not man-made.
Yeah.
This is nature.
Yeah.
And it's just breathtaking.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you come on a property, you really get to see that, and it kind of encapsulates the vision for that. And then you can create, on that blank canvas, whatever type of style design you're wanting to for your wedding.
we were talking about the versatility and that there's no other place like this in the valley type of thing, which is true. I think what surprises folks is that if you want like a lot of people are now having their weddings here as a destination. They want to be married in Idaho.
Yes.
It's less expensive. It's beautiful. We still have a ton of amenities. It's such a fun, our Boise Valley has so much to do for your guests.
Even Caldwell now.
Caldwell has a ton of stuff to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is closer. But
Yeah.
we are 45 to an hour from downtown Boise and Eagle. Okay. So we're not developed out here, which is the whole point. But so for a hotel, you stay at your hotel, you either drive out or you organize transportation. You're being transported to something that you might find up in the mountains that really would be a limited destination. So we really are a way to have like the actual wedding and reception in a natural Idaho environment that truly reflects Idaho. So we have the Owyhee Mountains, we have the Snake River, we have the farmland, and again the open space is what I feel people resonate with.
Yeah.
Because that's how I felt. Like, so when I've been here a million times visiting, holidays, whatever. There was one day that I came out and saw the property from fresh eyes. Like I just sold a commercial building. I'm like, gosh, what am I going to do next? And I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what I would do with this property. You know, but it took, like, for newbies, like you were saying, you came, you know, you've seen it on FaceTime, but when you came here, there's a feeling like there's like your cortisol drops. Like it's a very peaceful, relaxing, comforting, and to have the space around you, because a lot of these other venues are gorgeous.
Yes.
Like the buildings are gorgeous. The, you know, like the grounds are pretty good. But I'm just saying.
It doesn't meet the natural landscape.
This is pretty darn good out here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're not trying to book 50 weddings a year. You know,
Right.
like our
It's limited.
yeah, it is limited.
Your access to come on here and have your wedding is limited.
Yeah. Well, and I think it like, as it should be, because like, I don't know, it's so unique that, like, that's almost like part of it. Like, not everybody should have access.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite first dance song or moment that you loved witnessing, or like that stands out that you witnessed?
I don't have a favorite, but the bigger, the better. Lots of dance moves.
Yes.
Like, get out there.
Yeah.
This is your moment.
Yes.
It's not going to happen all the time. Be wild. Have fun. Shake it out. There's so much fun and healing and laughter that comes with dance. Like, you don't have to be an expert. So it's challenging watching a wedding where, like, everyone feels so reserved and no one's moving. It's like, get out there.
Yeah.
Just do the thing.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Because,
Shake it. Make it great.
like, as a photographer standpoint, like, you can only photograph people standing there, like, so much.
Yeah, the same 5 people.
Yeah, and then they're just like, why are you still taking pictures of me? But, like, you're also there to take pictures, and then people will judge you if you're not taking pictures. But then, like, editing those afterwards, you're like, yep, still standing there.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Painful. So do it for the photographer.
Dance for the photographer. Well,
Yeah.
and dance like no one's watching you.
Yeah.
You know, I think sometimes we get so in our head and about ourselves that we're like, what is it going to look like? Who's watching me? Just have fun. This is your moment.
And you're not going to want to look back at pictures of you, like, not having fun.
Right.
Like, you'd much rather look back on having a good time.
Yeah.
So who cares what it looks like?
Right.
Because
right.
you'll look more beautiful if you are having a good time, in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So I would say with the dancing, the bigger, the better.
Yeah. I think it's important. Do you have anything?
I actually agree. I think,
Yeah.
like, if I ever get married again, I'm going to, like, take a lesson and have, like, some moves on the floor. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I think, don't you say it. I know what you're saying. I know what you're thinking. Anyway, it's a Mexico thing.
Oh, fun.
Right? Was it right?
I feel like I signed an NDA. Like, I can't.
Good. Okay.
No.
Has there ever been a moment you wanted to walk away from the industry, and what made you stay?
Opening a venue is very, very exhausting because I do have a career. And so, you know, this is an avenue for me to have the property generate an income to maintain it, because I want to live here for the rest of my life.
I can see why.
But it costs a lot of money to run it. And so there have been moments when I'm just like, what did I get myself into? Just because of the amount of work. Hiring Rose, I'm surprised I know I had the idea of hiring somebody, but I kept thinking it's such a simple concept. I just want to rent out my yard. You know, like I kept naively thinking that was the simplicity of it. But it's like going through the county, going through Southwest District Health, DEQ, the building process, the land division use issues. I mean, like, it has been the attorneys, the architects, the engineers. I mean, it is like, I was so naive coming into that. And finally, again, my friend who is my land use person was like, you need an assistant. Like, you need to find somebody. And then she was the one that recommended Rose. So I met her and I was like, you're hired. Like if I was,
Can I come out and see it first? So I was like, wait.
Yeah, I said, you need to come see
you
it.
did not,
Yeah,
yeah.
you and I were talking because you were getting ready for work. We talked for like 45 minutes while you were getting ready over the phone. And I said, before you go any further, you need to come see me. You need to come see out here. And, but anyway, so my point is like, like that there definitely have been moments when I'm just like, oh my Lord, like, but the thing is that you have invested so much time and energy at that point. It's like, I have to finish this or I'm never going to recoup my costs, and I'm not a quitter.
Yeah. Well, and you'll always wonder if you don't.
Yeah. And I still am in love with the idea. It's just taken me 2.5 years and I'm still not done. And that again was another naive kind of concept.
Yeah.
But I love the people in this industry, like yourself. And
thank you.
I mean, we have met so many just very professional, wonderful people, supportive. Mm-hmm. It's an industry of very good people, is what I want to say.
Do you feel like the industry is rooted in collaboration or competition as a whole, but more specifically in Idaho?
I would guess that maybe I'm guessing this is super biased. Out of state, I would think it would be competitive. Idaho is collaborative. If you are a professional, if you're doing this as a hobby or a side gig, you're probably thinking more competitive. But any true professional that's doing this as their full-time job, it's all about collaboration. Again, I understand why venues have their only list. Like, we only work with these people. And, good for you. Yeah. And good for that vendor, because now they're booked out and they know, it's a job, right? Like, it's their careers. But on the other end, boy, that really limits our valley.
Yeah.
And we do need more professional vendors in all the categories, probably.
Yeah.
So
except for magazines.
Except for magazines.
Except for magazines and podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Well, and there's that term that is starting to go around socials called frienders. And I think that is the collaborative thought of Idaho, is really like, these are your friends and family that you're working together with. There are so many different powerhouses in the industry, and they're all unique to what their strengths and their weaknesses are.
Yeah. Any advice for couples who want to make the most of Garmin without breaking the budget?
This is a true moment.
Yeah.
So we are loving life in our bikinis, sitting next to the poolside, working, got our laptops out, all that good stuff. Enjoy. This was last night, fun. So this is like, we work nights.
Yeah.
I work nights and weekends with Rose.
Yeah.
So anyway, like she said, I'm 24/7. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate you.
I'm keeping this in because it's
you should. So I get this phone call and I answer it, and she was like, hi, I just realized that your email went to my junk file and they had a contract in hand for another venue. And she's like, we still want to come out and talk to you about your pricing and what you have. And she was on the website. And I said, well, hold on, because I'm just sitting here with Rose. And, so I handed it to Rose. We are right now, like, this will be the third time we've adapted our pricing. So we came out with pricing for the wedding show. Then we tweaked it a little tiny bit after that. And now we're just changing things like mostly fine-tuning, like how much deposit, anyway, all that sort of stuff. Because we realized some important things. But so anyway, she's like sitting here and she's talking to me, and like, we're literally like adding the math because we were working on it, right? Like, literally.
Yeah.
So she is calm as a cool as a cucumber, and just sitting there talking to her, and we're in the background like trying to figure it out. It was awesome.
Yeah,
you did such a good job. But that's why I'm like, she is like, when people come for tours, like I had a musician for Wilder Wednesday, and he's like, I really want to have my daughter's baby shower here, and I'm like, well, that's Rose's department, so I'm going to refer you to Rose, and she gave him a tour, and I think he's booking it. We haven't gotten the confirmation yet. But so she does a great job.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's amazing.
Hustling, always hustling.
Do you have I know that you guys are working on the budget, but do you have any advice for couples who want to book Garmin without breaking the budget?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're, as a part of what Kris had just kind of spoken on and touched on, is just coming up with a questionnaire for our potential guests and clientele to really kind of narrow down, what are you wanting within your day, right? Because our packages, we do have 5. And when we started the process, it was like 3. Okay, we're going to have 3. We only need 3. And no, it's like, you can have just land use only. You could do a classic style. You could do a more elite package with a weekend included. And then also a customizable option. We can have different add-ons and amenities. And we do have the poolside. And so that brings a whole different Palm Springs vibe.
Yeah.
So I think really building out that questionnaire as a part of the onboarding process with clientele to really just narrow down, because there are so many options. It's challenging.
Yeah.
It comes with its risks and reward. So it's both great and sometimes can be a hindrance when there's just too many options.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But I want to answer that just based on your budget question you were asking about. So one of the things, you know, is size. And there is a big trend right now that you don't have to invite everybody you've ever met in your life, and your parents know, and your cousins know, and everybody. So I do feel like, depending on the relationship between you and your parents, like how you want to play that out. But you don't have to invite everybody.
correct.
But if you do want to invite everybody, we actually are a great option, because our capacity is 450 people.
450, yeah.
And it can be an open air, you know, it could, if you want to save money and do a open air kind of backyard style with tables and umbrellas, that works.
Yeah.
If you want to, you know, have a catering that is more family style, and where you're having really good food, but it's less expensive, not the service related to it, you know.
Right.
So there's really some really good ways. You have to almost like pick, it's a conversation with you and your husband or fiance about what is like, when you envision the best wedding ever, name one thing. You get one thing. So is that your dress? Or is that like multiple dresses because you want to change? Is it florals because you love florals? You know, is it the design of it? So do you want the fancy chairs, or are you okay with the basic chairs? You know, there's all sorts of ways that you can still have a beautiful, memorable wedding. You just have to decide what you want to splurge on. And in my mind, there's really three things, probably three. Number one, spend the money on a planner, even if it's their lowest package, where you have time with them for the next year, so many hours a month or whatever. Like, get help, because they have connections. They can save you money because they normally get discounts, because they work, again, with our friendors. We work together, and most often they'll give discounts to that planner, because they know it's going to be pulled off well. Okay, there's a reason why there's a discount. It's not just because you're my friend. It's because you're professional. We know you show up on time. You know, it's done well. You execute well. And then, people don't like to hear this, but you got to have the DJ MC. And that's super important, because everybody thinks that they don't need that. But actually, that person keeps your wedding on time.
Yes, I feel like it's the pulse of the
Absolutely.
ceremony and the reception.
It's like any event you go to.
It's the tempo, need DJ.
It's the music. It's the how they talk. It's how they keep it on pace. It's how they interact with your guests. So that, to me, is that's the most important stuff.
Yes.
Bartending is very important, but in the end, normally it's not as interactive as your DJ. So like, if I'm going to prioritize something now, if I'm here at Wilder Wednesday, my bartender is very important.
Yes.
Because that's a primary contact with guests. So with a wedding, I think it's going to be more of your, person that's actually running the schedule.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I've been to weddings where they're like 2 hours behind or something, and it's just kind of like, as a guest, you're just it's not the event that you want. Yeah. So pick and choose, budget accordingly. Don't feel bad about areas that you can save money. Florals are so important, but you can do really special classic designs that won't break the bank. The big floral that Maddie and Noah did was, so I'm not against that either, but they had the budget for it.
Well, and I've talked to some florists. You can actually repurpose your ceremony flowers to your reception flowers. And I think that's huge, because you're never going to, realistically, you're never going to use them again. So why not just repurpose the ones you already have?
Yep. And but that helps when you have a planner.
Yeah. Do you see owning a venue as creative, strategic, or both? And how do you balance if it's multiple?
I think it's both.
I think it's both. You need creative strategy.
Yeah.
And grit. This is not like a sprint, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
And so it takes both a creative eye to build something that others can see, and then there's strategy in the presentation of that. You don't want to overwhelm anyone, but you don't want to over deliver, and you don't want to under deliver. So we need just the right amount of French fries and sauce. You know what I'm saying?
That's so good.
We don't want soggy fries and we don't want over crispy. So
yeah.
we just it needs to be both.
Yeah, I think that's important. This one I didn't prepare you for, but if somebody wanted to start a venue, what would be the first or most important piece of advice you would give them?
They tell you that in remodeling in general, double your time, double your money.
Yes.
I think you cannot underestimate how much the government is so not helpful,
Right.
contradictory,
Back and forth.
like, just, it's been awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I can add to that on Chris's side, I would say finding your why.
Oh.
She has an incredible why
That's a really
that
good
has
point.
stayed with her during, a loss, during health, during illness, during celebratory moments, as her daughters are growing and doing their next steps in life and graduating in college and the whole bit. Like, if you don't have your why, it's really hard to continue. When you're ready to throw in the towel, like, what's the why? Where
Right.
is that origin story going back to?
Yeah.
And I think Kris has had an incredible one that in my mind, I witness her living that out because she knows her why.
Yeah.
So I think that's important as a venue, because otherwise when those waters come and it gets high, like, you're out, when it is back and forth and it is a battle and you are overwhelmed, or there's so many different things that are coming at you, it's hard to have that clarity. And so even if it's simple, like it's a phrase, it's a word, or it could be a novel, like whatever, just what is the why?
And there's people that do it as a commercial enterprise. Like, they're there to make money, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we all need to make money. We all need to get paid at the end of the day.
Yeah. Please tell me that's why we're doing this.
Rose is like, okay, that's it, I'm done.
Hold on.
It's like, hold on a second. No, I
Just
think,
joking, that was
That was good.
But the funny thing is I'm probably the worst person to ask, because this is my second big kind of project I've ever done. And people assumed I was like a commercial developer on the last one. I'm like, no, I sell chicken for a living. So, it's like, no, this is just my brain, wanting to process it and do something creative. So I think it is what I learned from that experience, which was the Oaks Brothers Marketplace, was as I worked with my retail vendors there, it's like, you have to figure out the why. Like, you have to figure out who you are and then be you. That's how you stand out. And so this whole process of me creating a venue where I live, like, I literally live here. I want to use my pool. I want to use my yard. I also need peace and quiet. I don't want a wedding here every weekend, but I do want to share it. And for multiple reasons. A, yes, I would need to make a living here. But B, it's because it's gorgeous. I've lived here. I realized, because we bought it in December of 22 and I started renovating, but we didn't live here yet. I've lived here for a little over 2 years, and I still want to watch every sunset. I was sitting on my covered patio over there last night. I did a little timeline. That was my time lapse that I posted last night. And I just set it up and I laid on my couch over there and I watched it, and I was like, this is why. Like, this is why I do the time lapse and share it. Like, you don't understand how absolutely gorgeous. Like, you go to Hawaii, pay all that money, and you sit and you watch, a sunset. That sunset is right here. It's right here. And, and you got the Owai's. So there you go. It's close. But anyway, so that's, I don't want to get on too much on a tangent. But I think that the advice is, you got to figure out what you really want to do. And it goes beyond just wanting to, it's not all cutesy.
Correct. Yeah.
It's not all cutesy. You better be ready, because it's not always a pretty industry.
What do you think is the key point in staying balanced and organized?
Rose.
Communication is big. Talking notes, not being afraid to pivot and pull back if
Which
it
we
is
did.
a bad idea, or it's a great idea. Let's say we had an incredible concept, but it was just the wrong time. And we went with it and it was hard.
Yeah,
to
we had
pull back out
what we
and
call the
pause
come to
on.
Jesus conversation.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
it was
and
so
it-
good. And each moment thereafter, it's been peaceful,
Oh,
like
man, it's so
confirmation,
much better.
confirmation.
Yeah.
While having revenue in another area that we really wanted to
Part of the-
lock down primarily.
Yeah,
So
part of
it was
Rose.
good.
is that I have ran her in one direction and stopped her and pointed her in another. Like, it's legitimately been like, okay, the county says this, so we have to focus on making revenue this way. And then it would change. So like a year ago, they told me I couldn't do an Airbnb. I literally heard in a meeting, you cannot do an Airbnb. And I was like, why can't I do an Airbnb? But I was like, okay, I don't want to upset you because I'm trying to get my permit and do all that. You know, I'm trying to be like a good kid. And then like now they're like, oh yeah, you can do an Airbnb. And I'm like, for 1 year, I could have been creating revenue. So I've lost all that revenue based on the director telling me that.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's, you know, so my point is like, I've ran her in a direction where I think we can make money at immediately while planning for weddings. And then it was like, had to pit stop that. And then okay, now we can do this. So now we're going to go this. So we've again, it's raw business. Like we're making serious decisions every day.
Yeah.
For us, organizationally, a really close friend and wedding planner told us she meets with her staff for 2 hours, 4 hours. I don't know. She meets with her staff every week. And we're like, we need that because I do have a day job. So it's hard for her to get my attention because I'm working. So now that we have literally, like last night, we set aside 4 to 8, you know, and so we got to sit down and have 4 hours together.
So productive.
Poolside, which was so added little bonus. It's a little job perk. But
Are you hiring?
it was pretty sweet. And so having those moments, so we definitely are we're still learning and building. You have to be organized and understand that. She was smart enough to be like, I have so many ideas. And again, this could be weddings, receptions, corporate events, reunions, Airbnb, stayovers, rent the pool for a party. It could, I mean, it is so many things that it's like, she finally was like, we have to narrow our vision right now. And so we are focusing on our Wilder Wednesdays, which is the community event that we have every Wednesday, June through October, 5 to 9, live music, food truck, bar. It's bring your own lawn chair or blanket. You come onto the yard, you know, of course, this is like a couple acres. So we have, again, a huge capacity. And you just bring your chairs and listen to music and grab dinner, and there's some games and activities if you want, or you just sit in your chair and relax. So some people group together, some people sit by themselves and just want to have the peacefulness of it, and it's just really great. So we focused on that, and then weddings, because we need to be booking that out, especially for next year. We want to get those on the books because again, they're not, you know, I'm not renting out every weekend. I live here, so we don't need a lot. We do need to get them booked.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's something important that people don't often realize. Like, if you're not already planning for next year, you're behind. Like, it's people plan their weddings.
We ran into so many people that didn't have venues at the show that we're getting married this year.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
With the limited availability of Idaho vendors, like, so I feel like there's a lot of vendors who understand the collaborative side of things, but they also understand that there's enough business to go around. But on the flip side of that, I don't think that the brides understand that there are only so many vendors that do this professionally. Yes, you may see like a ton of photographers, a ton of whatever, but the ones who do it professionally do book out several months to years in advance. Like, I've talked to several vendors that are already booking 2027. So one, reach out to your vendors as soon as possible. But two, plan your wedding in advance. As much as Idaho is booming and growing, you can't just plan a big elaborative wedding, at least in a couple months anymore. Like, you have to book, if you really are serious about the vendors that you want, you have to book them as soon as you can. And I think that that is a point I want people to recognize a little bit more of, because I'm seeing both sides of things from brides and from vendors. Like, vendors are like, I wish you would reach out more, and brides are like, nobody's available. I'm like, I hope to be that bridge for you guys, because
bridging the gap.
You have to book them.
How do you, I have a question for you, because I've been asking folks, like, if you're a bride, how do you find your vendors?
Hopefully with Idaho Bride. But that was a huge reason why I did start Idaho Bride, because as a photographer, like, yes, you can post, yes, you can do whatever, but it is hard finding brides, and then vice versa. I didn't feel like there was a resource for brides to be able to find their vendors, because you can Google all you want, but like with a magazine, at least it's vetted. It's
Yes. Everything's in one place. It's like a one-stop shop.
Yeah. And you can go to bridal shows, which are great. And a lot of those vendors are in the magazine. But I feel like at bridal shows, and not to talk crap because I do love bridal shows, but most of the time you're handing out a business card and that's just going to get walked on or thrown away, or you're going to lose it. And it's just the most recent bridal show that the magazine was at, I was leaving and packing up, and this girl had a bag and then she like dumped it out on the grass and it was just full. And how overwhelming is that? Like all of these people that you have to navigate, look up, do whatever, versus like, sorry, little promotional plug here, but in a magazine, it's well laid out. It's beautiful quality. I pride myself in making it such a nice magazine that you don't want to throw it away. It's a nice table piece, and you can sit and look at it with your mom or your grandma or whoever's helping you plan, your maid of honor. Like, it's just the feminine, girly side of things where, I mean, who doesn't like looking at a magazine? So that's...
Oh, I'm glad I asked the question.
Yeah,
because that's kind of my thing is like, because people are always like, oh, I didn't realize you were here.
Yeah.
And we will hear that for a while. I know that.
Yeah,
because we're still like legitimately trying to figure out the whole, we've got the chat again, working on the Googles and getting on listings and, you got to get out there. But back in the day, I'm showing my age, when we etched on, stone, you had an ad in a newspaper or you were in a phone book. Then the web on the line came.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, then all these technologies. Nowadays, I feel like I can be looking for stuff, like even if I'm looking for stuff, it's not in Idaho or it's not, you know what I'm saying? And I understand people will travel, but really it's so much easier just to have your person here, right? But yeah, I'm just curious because I feel like as a bride, it would be just difficult to find some people. And thinking about interviewing you have to have 7 things and you got to interview 3 people. That's 21 people you got to interview before you choose.
Yeah.
That's just a lot to do.
Yeah.
So that's why I love the idea of your magazine.
Thank you.
And I love the idea of having a preferred vendors list, but not being so restricted to that because I do still feel there are new people coming into the valley, others dropping out, new ones coming in, that we can help build up their business as well.
Yes, that's another huge thing. Like, there are so many underrated vendors in Idaho just because they don't have a big following. Okay, hot take. I don't know if I should say this or not.
Say it.
But this is my confession. Just because somebody has thousands or hundreds of thousands of followers does not mean that they're the only good photographer in the valley or the only good caterer in the valley. Like, that just means that they're good at social media, which is great. Like, that's something that we all need to be better at, honestly. But I truly think that there are so many underrated photographers, caterers, hair and makeup artists just because they have a low following. It's
Can
insane.
I mention something? Because on one of your podcasts, the gentleman spoke about the fact that he does no advertising, that he can get all the business that he wants right now from word of mouth. And I think in every business, because I'm dealing with this in my career side, where it's like any business that you have, if it's like a grassroots, local, like we're not trying to sell around the world, right? We're talking about like we need brides who come here and have a wedding. So for a local event or business that you need people physically to come to, it is way more of your connections and your word of mouth and your reputation. And it's much less about social media.
Yes.
Because if I said, I love your pants, where did you get those? And you told me the store, I'm more likely to go do that, right?
Yeah.
So to me, it's like a recipe. Like, I love that. Can I have your recipe? I've tried it. Versus like some unknown.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I don't think that the following in a wedding industry, like our wedding industry, is a good reflection of the quality of what you're going to get.
Well, and there's so many, like you said, that come and go, and the newer ones that are coming in, even though they're new, they still have amazing talent. Like, I'm speaking of us.
Well.
Yes.
Didn't we learn that?
Absolutely. And hopefully that's where I come in, just to like help show you. And that's why I just started last November, but I have everybody vote on like their favorite vendors. And it's a like completely non-biased thing where brides can submit, vendors can submit, and it's gotten such a great response. And I hope to continue that. And I hope people see the value in that, because I truly think that before this, there wasn't somewhere that could really showcase like true Idaho vendors that felt like Idaho. So, hot take.
Yeah.
Let's get back to Garmin. How do you define success in your role how do you do lists?
Well, that will be in the feedback, the, brides and grooms being very happy with their day. Anybody that we're working with, that if they refer us and talk well about working with us, or they come back, okay, so Noah and Maddie come here on Wilder Wednesdays.
Yeah.
They love
With
being
baby
here
Luke,
with their whole family.
Yep.
So they bring, in-laws, parents, sisters, brothers.
Yeah.
So like that to me is success, because again, we are so versatile. They could have a staycation here. Say that, they get the grandma wants to babysit and they want to come stay here, they can rent it out. If you want to have, a baby shower here, if you want to have, there's just so many different ways that the more repeatable interaction with them, I think will be the best compliment.
Yeah, absolutely. Success would be defined in getting those referrals, getting that word of mouth, and then having those moments where they want to continue to come back. And Garman Hill is not just a part of their wedding day, but it is a part of so many other important moments, photography, staycations, all of it, community events.
I think that's really important. What's your personal love language, and how does it show up in how you service couples?
We discussed that. We think it's quality time, but we do have to start watching that, because you had an appointment the other night and I joined and it got drug out for it's a 3-hour appointment.
Yeah.
And so, but that is really we love talking to people and spending time. And again, we have so much to share and we want to hear their stories, because they were sharing their stories. Yeah. It was a very good connection evening, but it also was 3 hours. You know what I mean? So it's but quality time, definitely. What do you want to add to that?
A love language. Quality time is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, just those kind of sitting at the table moments and having conversation, having quality time professionally to where, if we do have deadlines or time frames, that we stick to that. And I think for the most part, we do a great job. There are some, off the hook moments where it does take more time, but I think those are what make us great as well. I wouldn't take back that time for anything. So
lastly, if you could give every couple one piece of advice before their big day, be marriage related, just life related, but what would it be?
Okay, you go first.
One piece of advice.
Or if you're not ready.
I would say one piece for me would be, it's okay if it's not all perfect. And when it's not, that's a great opportunity to work together and navigate through that challenge on your wedding day, right? So we're going to plan for perfection. We're going to plan for Instagrammable moments. We're going to vet all of our vendors and make sure that we have, that dream team is really what I feel like everyone wants to go after for their special day. And with that, if it starts raining and you get a little wet, or the grass gets slippery, or, there's something that happens, just use that as an opportunity to navigate, something off track as a couple. Yeah. And let that just help you grow as you navigate.
If you could give every couple one piece of advice, what would it be?
Okay, so it's similar to what she said, which is definitely plan for perfection. I think the way that I explain outdoor venues is that it is like life. Yeah. Which means that Mother Nature is also invited, and you need to be flexible in that. But at the same time, that's what makes it special. If you want your life to be in this little pretty box with a bow on it, you will struggle. And I feel like couples that go after that are the ones that get divorced, because they feel like everything should be this perfect.
It's all performance.
Right. So to me, couples who choose outdoor venues are I can't say that. I want to say
it's a bring on the elements, bring it on.
Yeah, and I also feel like it's a really good testament to your love and your flexibility and your emotional intelligence to understand what you're getting into. And if something really little were to bother you, say there was a breeze and your candle keeps blowing out because you didn't plan the containers it goes in or whatever. If that really bothers you, then life is going to bother you. So I feel like I love the couples that evaluate and look at us and go for it, because they're the ones that I feel like are going to be the most successful. I really do. We talked about this. Life throws you monkey wrenches, right? And as a team, you got to be able to overcome them.
Yeah.
And I love when we are mentioning weather. We have yet to have a, gosh dang, I'm going to jinx us. Bad weather. Yeah, please knock on wood for me. But obviously that will happen sooner or later.
Yeah.
But that's where that's
Idaho.
where planning comes in. That's where just being prepared, you know, having that knowledge and
Yeah.
because really technically, like, we are outdoor with the indoor building. The indoor facility is about 1,000 square feet. We'll put the bar in there. We could probably do some catering prep in there, and then really your guests are outside. But we also have acres for tents, and so our Maddie and Noah's. I know I keep talking about them. But anyway, they had a 40 by 120 foot tent here, and it fit perfect. It fit perfect. It fit in. It didn't stand out.
Nope. It worked.
So it looked gorgeous. So you can have tents or you can not have tents. It's kind of up to like the month that you want to get married.
Yeah.
And what style you want.
Yeah.
So if you want it to be more like easy breezy, laissez-faire, and you want umbrellas and tables, great. If you want it to be more formal, like, you know, the pole tent and go all out, oh my gosh, that would be so beautiful here. So
Yeah. Anything you want to leave them with? Anything like upcoming exciting besides Wilder Wednesdays?
Yes, yeah. So on the bridal side, we have an open house. We're working with one of our preferred wedding planners, and we are going to host our first biggest open house for brides and grooms.
That's
In
exciting.
August.
So booking for 2026, 2027. We'd love to see everybody there.
Yeah. Awesome. And then where can everybody find you online? On the line.
On the line. Garman Hill, and we are Garman Hill at garmanhill.com. Sorry, garmanhill.com.
Okay.
We're on Instagram. You can look up Garman Hill Venue. We're on Facebook. Again, Garman Hill Event Venue on that.
Okay.
So those are all great places. And yeah, we're just so excited to be on here just to kind of have fun and share
Thank you.
and do our little confessions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for your confessions.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.